Hello, and we are live. Welcome. Let's just wait a little bit, have a few people, if they want to come in, and we'll start momentarily. This is a live stream recorded. If you're tuning in at a later time, it is a live stream that is recorded for a later viewing. We'll wait a few more seconds just in case if anyone shows up, or if no one shows up, that's fine with me too. We have a lot of stuff we want to talk about today with this new update with the YouTube Partner Program, also known as YPP. Currently, the YouTube Partner Program I'm based in the U.S. The U.S. We have two different tiers. It started in mid June of 2023, on or around June 13th or June 12th. They announced that there was an easier tier, and it was for the countries of the US, UK, Canada, Taiwan, and South Korea initially. They said that they were going to open up more countries, but until I believe yesterday they announced it, that they added more countries to the second tier. But first, I want to go over what the existing YouTube partnership program looks like. So I'm going to share my screen here, and you're going to see where we are currently today. That's right here. Here we are. It's existing for the other countries. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 excuse me, valid public watch hours in the past year, or so it's 10 million. 10M is 10 million valid public short views in the last 90 days. Which both these are, the watch time is either the public watch hours or the public shorts. Those are not easy tasks to complete. 1,000 is also a little bit difficult, but that's the easiest of these three to do, is 1,000 subscribers. Especially if you use shorts, if you get something that goes viral, shorts go viral easier than videos to get started in YouTube. But all three of these are difficult, but I think the easier one is the 1,000 subscribers, which you have to do, and the 4,000 public watch hours in the past year. I've gotten over 1,000. That's not the issue for me. It's these two. But I was eligible when they came out in June. I had 3.2 or 3.3 million public short views in the last 90 days. So I was eligible. You'll see in a second. These are requirements. 500 subscribers. I got that. 3 public uploads in the last 90 days. That is very easy, the 3 public uploads. That's even easier than the 500 subscribers. And either 3,000 public watch hours, which is in the past year, or 3 million public short views in the last 90 days. And what does that get you? Let's see. Where did it show? It shows. Well, I'll tell you what what I don't have. Creators who meet the following criteria are accepted in additional benefits. Since I don't have the higher tier, I don't have the revenue sharing from ads and YouTube Premium. So I don't get the watch hour ads or the YouTube Premium viewers, but I do get the super chat, the stickers, the memberships, the shopping. That's what I get. Well, anyway, they used to have it only for the following countries: the US, UK, Canada, Taiwan, and South Korea. But they've opened it up to a bunch more countries for the easier, lighter tier. So if for having these requirements: 500 subscribers, 3 public uh, uploads in the last 90 days, and either 3,000 public watch hours or 3 million public short views, which are still very difficult. But the 3 million, that was easy for me because I was posting a lot of shorts. Not every short I post goes viral, though. Only some. Some shorts I do have only a few views. But anyway, for the later version of the YPP, which I have, it expanded from those few countries of the US, UK, Canada, Taiwan, and South Korea to Algeria, American Samoa, Argentina, Aruba, Australia, Austria, Bahrain, Belarus, Belgium, Bermuda, Bolivia, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I hope I didn't butcher that country name. Brazil, Bulgaria, Canada, Cayman Islands, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Egypt, El Salvador, Estonia, Finland, France, French Guyana. French Guyana? Who knew? French Polynesia, Germany, Greece, Guadeloupe. I think that's how you pronounce it. Guam, which I guess Guam is separate from the U.S., even though it's a territory. Guatemala, Hong Kong, Honduras, Hungary, Iceland, India, Indonesia, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Japan, Jordan, Kenya, Kuwait, Latvia, Lebanon, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, which is a real small but very wealthy country. They have free transit in Luxembourg. I've seen that in YouTube videos. Macedonia, Malaysia, Malta, Morocco, Mexico, Netherlands, New Zealand, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Northern Northern Mariana Islands. Don't know where that is. Norway, Oman, Panama, Papua New Guinea, Peru, Philippines, Poland, Portugal, Puerto Rico, I guess also like Guam, U.S. territory, Paraguay, Qatar, Romania, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, Serbia, Singapore, Slovakia, Slovenia, South Africa, South Korea, Spain. Well, South Korea we always had. Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, Thailand, Turkey, Turks and Caicos, Uganda, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, obviously, and the United States, Uruguay, U.S. Virgin Islands, also includes all the U.S. territories now weren't included in the United States, and Vietnam. Now, hi, Batman, hi, Noah. I hope you guys heard me. They added the YPP program to several other countries, not just the U.S., UK, Canada, Taiwan, and South Korea, but now a whole bunch more. It took me a whole month, even though I was qualified already when it went live for the U.S. It took me a whole month or so, maybe a little bit longer, before they granted it to me. However, since they don't have the watch hours things, you know how much I got? A big fat 0. The watch hours, they really emphasize that's the easiest way to make money. So even though I have that, it doesn't really help me much, So plus I don't really do these live streams that much. So even if you now somehow qualify, if you weren't qualified before and you are in one of those countries or U.S. territories that you all of a sudden now qualify based on the parameters, you still got to wait. It's not like flipping on a light switch. You could apply, but once that apply button goes live on your account, make sure you still qualify. Otherwise, they make you wait, I think, like 30 days the first time. The second time, I think it's 90 or 60 days. And then the third time is like 90. So you got to, yes, for the light program, it's stickers, super chats, subscriptions, and if you sell merch. I think there's some way of selling merch on YouTube. I just haven't figured out how. That's how you can do the light version. But it's the easiest thing, I think, is the watch hours. I think that's where you make more of your money, unless you do get a lot of super chats and memberships, which I think super chats you'd probably make more than memberships. But when you're a real small channel, until you get really full monetized, you're really not going to make much money anyway. Even if you're, even if you do have memberships, I don't think that's going to equate to much. I think it's the watch hours. I could be wrong. I'm still learning, obviously. And that's basically the big news with YouTube. So even if you qualified now, you're still going to wait. It's not as simple as 1, 2, 3. So that's as what Noah said. Yep. Interesting. And this is probably going to be the last live stream of the year for me, which, next year is like literally hours away. It's already 12:30, 2023. It's almost 12:31, 2023. It's just crazy. They announced it like right at the end of the year. They just had to say, okay, it's coming up. It's 2024 is around the corner, So will it really impact? I'm not sure. Will people get excited? I'm not sure either. But it's kind of like a secret. It's like you got to really dig deep and find it. Well, it ain't so crazy. Yeah, exactly. You gotta get all your ducks in the row. You gotta do everything you gotta do, and then a lot of stores close early tomorrow, and then they close certain streets. I know my parents drive back to the city usually on Sundays. They're going to stay another day because of the traffic and the drunks. So yeah, best to do what you got to do early before it gets too crazy. I know Trader Joe's, the local supermarket I shop at, they're closing early tomorrow, as a bunch of other businesses are. And I'm not going to bother going anywhere tomorrow night. It's just too damn crazy. Way too damn crazy. I think, yep, I got the email that, oops, of course, we're live. That's pretty cool. So they stay safe and then they come in the new year. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, is it a third? I thought it was closer to 50%, 40%. A third seems generous. I don't know, because I got 0 so far. So, and welcome to the chat, Surfboard. I don't remember the name, but it's here's Nightbot doing its thing. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, Nightbot. What? I missed one. Only we could all drink coffee like people drink alcohol. Could be cafes everywhere, and though never mind. And now, since the pandemic, at least for me, I find in New York, the cafes they close early in general now. They don't stay open as long as they used to. A lot of places they removed some seats or got rid of seating entirely, or they move locations to a smaller space to go. So yeah, it's like I don't know, coffee isn't like the third place anymore that it used to be. And then you pay taxes on it. Yeah, that's the other thing. So it's YouTube in the US. I don't know how it works in other countries, like that whole list of countries that I just announced. I don't know how they do the taxes situation or collect taxes, but YouTube is treated as a 1099, so you got to figure it out yourself. At least for YouTube as a creator standpoint. Cover charges get into a cafe. No, you mean like for New Year's Eve if it's a bar. I've never like a regular cafe doing a cover charge. Unless maybe they had like live music like jazz or open mic night for poetry or something. But cafes in generally, I don't think have covers, but they're usually closed late at night or even early, very early now. You can go by a cafe at 4 o'clock and they say, "Sorry, we're closed for the day. Come back tomorrow morning." You're like, "Huh?" It's getting a bit ridiculous, you know. It's so if you want like a decaf coffee in the evening, a lot of cafes are closed unless they some become wine bars. Then they might have a cover. I don't know, but I was just thinking like if only people would drink coffee culturally instead. Well, sometimes people do have coffee for dessert or with dessert, and it's usually decaf. And I know when I went to the holiday party for my job last week, we had coffee with dessert, but I asked for decaf just because I didn't want to stay up, and it's the normal thing. But those are like restaurants. But in terms of like cafes, they close early. Instead of champagne, yeah. But I don't know. It's just I feel like New York City really started closing early. For like regular stores, they don't stay open as long as they used to, long hours. And then the third place idea is like even Dunkin' Donuts is like taking away seating at some of their stores. It's really weird. Uh, Starbucks closed some stores during the pandemic, but one store I know in Midtown actually expanded a little. So I was surprised they added more seats, but they're closing stores, so maybe some stores in the area closed that to justify a larger store. I'm not quite sure. Maybe that store was doing really well. But the everyone would be running around with the heart pumping, LOL, and probably just as many hospitalizations as drinking. Not sure where you're going. I don't think coffee is going to make people have that much heart problems. It made my teeth a bit brown, but I don't know about heart problems. But at least wouldn't risk puking and belligerent behavior, etc. Yeah, that's the other thing with going out on New Year's Eve. It's really crowded. You get a lot of rookie drinkers who puke or have belligerent behavior. It's just not that enjoyable. And if you have a drinking problem, or if you know someone who's thanks Nightbot, well, only if people drink like 7 coffees as some sort of crazy challenge. Um, the only Yeah, that is true. If you have 7 coffees, or the Panera Bread, they have this drink, these charged lemonades, which I've had. Heck, I even had more than I got them large, because they have their coffee program, which includes the charged lemonades. Supposedly, it's like having 2 coffees in one, or 3 coffees in one. But people who have heart conditions somehow didn't know about the coffee, and they started drinking them anyway. And there's been a few deaths because of it. Now they hide the charged lemonades behind the counter, so you can't get a refill and stuff like that. But and they have signs everywhere in Panera. But I don't know. It's usually people don't die from coffee. You have to have like some sort of heart problem already. Small close 6 or 8. I wish they did. They used to. Now it seems like 4. Yeah, that is nuts. That Panera. I don't know. Maybe because it was marketed as like lemonade, charged lemonade. People didn't get the connection. Charge meant like extra caffeine. Exactly. I'm from New York City, and I don't really like Times Square. I try and avoid Times Square. It's just if work takes me to that area a lot, I'm stuck going through it. But I don't enjoy Times Square. That's just how it is. It's like if you go to California, LA, there's West Hollywood, for instance. There's the stars on the street, and there's the theater that you see for the Oscars right there. I can't think of the name, but I was there like 2 or 3 years ago, and I liked it, but it reminded me too much of Times Square. So it's like unless you're a tourist, you're not gonna go there. Chinese theater, I think it is. I'm not trying to be racist or anything. I think it's called Chinese theater, and then next to it is the Oscar theater. I forget what it's called. Yeah, I think it might be like 3 coffees in one, but a Monster Energy might have just as much too. Yeah, it's just it was poorly marketed, and people didn't quite know. And I don't know. It's If you have a heart condition, you really got to look at warning labels more closely too. So it's a combination of just unfortunate events. And unfortunately, Panera is going to have to pay the price dearly for it, because loss of lives isn't cheap. But yeah, people weren't as aware with the Panera. Yeah. Oh, you're from Bay Ridge. Oh, okay. Cool, cool. So yeah, we're neighbors practically. I'm in the city, Manhattan. I go back and forth to Florida. I own a business and property there. Oh, okay. Well, right now would be the best time to be in Florida. Avoid all this cold and all the tourists coming just for the holiday season. I I went last week. Was it last week? Yeah, about last weekend. I went to Midtown. It was crazy nuts. So I've been posting clips and videos and lives, and I did that all last weekend, and it's just too crazy. You got to avoid Midtown, but in Bay Ridge, you're not gonna have the craziness like you do here in Manhattan. It's it's just probably the worst time. Yeah, you can't move. Exactly, you really can't. Yeah, I was doing a live, and the reception was terrible. There was so many people, and then there was a protest that came through, which then there was a fist fight or something, which I didn't get on camera because the video quality, it was just too choppy, and I missed the whole thing. All you saw was all of a sudden it was packed, and then the next scene it was empty. I try not to even go there for business, let alone leisure. No, that was pizza review. Which pizza review? It was I was doing the holiday light show. I was doing like a live stream. Yeah, to below 23rd Street, you're not gonna have the amount of chaos. Um, Yesterday I did go to Upper West Side. I had a free movie I got from I think Instagram. It was through Atom Tickets. There was a promo code, and it was for the movie Memory. It wasn't too bad because I was in the Upper West Side, so I like avoided the Midtown madness by taking the subway. That's another crazy madness, the subway. But that's it's better than being stuck driving or being in a cab through Midtown. It's just subway is just the way to go. You know, with the amount of madness you have underground still. But it's a nice enclave. It's just getting there. Yeah, Greenwich Village and downtown never ceases to be cool with their funky little streets. That, and there's still some stores that are independent, even though they keep shrinking. It's like the ever shrinking enclave of independent funky stores too. But I don't know. I hope there's going to be more coffee shops that open up that are interesting. It just seems like the amount of new coffee shops opening up are huge corporations like Blank Street Coffee, which they have good coffee, but it's a corporation, a huge corporation, a lot of stores. It's the whole idea of having a small little shop is like crazy. It's like died years ago. I don't know. That's just how I feel. But I'm not sure which. I did a few pizza reviews. I think I did one downtown 6 months ago, and another 6 months ago or a year ago. I did one in Greenpoint, Paulie G's, I think it is. I also did one downtown on Spring Street, just west of Broadway, West Broadway. I forget the name of it. That's how memorable it was. That's the spoiler alert. Feeling like better chance of independent stuff in Upper West Side or Bushwick and Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights at this point. Yeah, Bushwick does have some independent stores. Williamsburg has some, but it's becoming more of a shopping mall. Bay Ridge is nice too. Yeah, they do have some as well. It depends where on Soho. If you're gonna go on the main streets like Broadway, Broadway is the main thoroughfare, and that gets really crowded. So if you just stay off Broadway in Soho, and also on weekends, Canal Street gets also jammed. I think it's Paulie G, as in I'm not looking at it on Paulie like that. Um, I'm not looking at it online to double check, so I'm just this is based off of memory. It has such the hipster sign. I don't know the old looking sign that they try and make new again. If that means anything. That's It's no, not really. It's just it's a name. So how are you to know? You know, I think it was Paulie G. I think that's what it was. I had one person comment who didn't like my review because I didn't put the amount of. You want to know the amount of sauce and cheese, this and that. I'm like, why don't you go there and do it yourself then if you don't like my review? I deleted his comment. It was just I don't know. Was, but whatever. That's so now I gotta know. Now when I do food reviews, I gotta try and remember. People want to know the ratio of this to that, this and that. Like it's. And then he also complained I didn't eat, so I'm trying. If I have an extra hand to put the, because I thought I was being polite by not showing myself eat. And plus, I had nowhere to put it because there was nowhere to sit. They were full. I was seating there. And I was at a park bench, so I had no way of holding the pizza and the tripod, and there was no table. Getting angry over sauce is like the most New York thing I ever heard. Sounds like reminds me of like a bad Seinfeld episode, where they just argue amongst the stupidest things, you know. But that's I can see. Oh, you put too much sauce. Oh, you put too little cheese. Oh, you put too much cheese, not enough sauce. And oh, the dough is not cooked right. Yeah. Well, there is actually a dollar pizza place that I've tried near me. I think it's still a dollar. Could still be. And it's got to be like the worst dollar pizza place slice because the dough, they don't even cook it long enough. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, all the other dollar pizza places or $1.50 pizza places, they cook the pizza a little bit longer, so you could actually cook the dough. Here, it's not even cooked enough. So I didn't even go back there, but I was thinking if I ever went back to that particular location, I'd say put it in the oven longer. Then I'd probably burn my face off. I don't know. They're doing something wrong. The rest of the pizza was hot, and then everything else was cold. I don't know. It was weird, but I don't know. They're doing something wrong there. But for $1 or $1.50, what do you expect? Joe's on Carmine. You mean Joseph Bleecker or Bleecker Street Pizza? There's no Joe's on Carmine. It's Joseph Bleecker, I think, and Bleecker Street Pizza. Oh, Joe's Pizza. I'm thinking, yeah, Joe's Pizza, which is on Carmine Street. I've had Joe's Pizza that was on Carmine, and it's a chain of stores. I liked it when I got it there, right there. But I remember my office used to get Joe's Pizza delivered to their office, and for some reason, unless you don't have it right then, if you get it delivered, it's still hot and fresh and everything, but it doesn't taste good. I don't know what it is. You have to have it as soon as it comes out of the oven for Joe's Pizza to be good, at least in my opinion. And Bleecker Street Pizza, to be honest, I've never had it. I've had Joe's of Bleecker. That's really good. The only thing with Joe's of Bleecker is some slices are better than others on the pie for some reason. Some slices have the air bubbles, some don't. Some are cut small, some are cut large. So it's like half the pizza is different than the other half. I don't know. It's weird, but it's really good pizza. I heard a rumor Joseph Bleecker they stopped using the brick oven, but I think that was only during the pandemic. But I have no idea. But it was good. I remember. So I'm not sure which one, Bleecker Street or Carmine, which Joe's we talking about. Oh, I'm thinking. Oh, John's on Bleecker. That's right. Joe's Pizza is Carmine. Never mind. So the Joe's at East 14th Street by Trader Joe's, maybe not as good as Carmine. Um, well, the original one was at Carmine and Bleecker, and then they moved. At one point, they had like two different stores on Carmine, and then I think the one that they moved to, something happened to, and then they had to open next door, and then they shut down the original. So I say the one at Carmine is as close to the original as you get, even though it's not the original because they're gone. And the one thing I do like about the one on East 14th Street is it's usually not that busy at all. Just like their one at Carmine isn't that busy. Well, Carmine's busy. The one in Williamsburg isn't as busy. The Williamsburg Joe's Pizza, though, like about a year ago, they had a fight but it was around 3 a.m. So it's like, well, what do you expect? It's 3 a.m. You're gonna have drunks come in and cause a scene, and then the staff, instead of de-escalating, escalated. I don't know. 3 a.m. What can I tell you? John's on Bleecker. Oh, okay. John's and Joe's, they sound alike. I remember I went to the time I went to LA 2 or 3 years ago. There was a Joe's Pizza in one of those beach towns, not Venice, the one above Venice. I forget the name. There's a Joe's Pizza. The town right above Venice. Also right by the ocean, on the ocean. And I was walking there, and I was with my mom. We were there for a family event, but not. It was a different day, the family event. And there was this woman with two kids, and they were eating outside. There was like an outdoor seating area, and my mom was like, "Oh, look, they have Joe's Pizza." And then the woman who was with her two kids overheard my mom saying that, and she's like, "It's not that good." And it was like, "Oh yeah, we have Joe's Pizza back in New York, and it's much." And then she's like, "Yeah, it's better in New York," because she's been there apparently. Yeah, the Joe's Pizza in Times Square, I've said that's the worst place to get pizza. They're even more crowded than Carmine. Is that pizza place everyone raves about in Spring and Mott as good as they say? As you know, I can't have pizza, so I just by taking reference. To be honest, I've never had that pizza. I think I had it before when it was Ray's Pizza, and that location you're referring to, Prince Street Pizza, is the location of the actual original Ray's Pizza. But the original Ray's Pizza no longer exists, and it's now Prince Street Pizza, which apparently everyone raves about getting the pepperoni with those cups, it's like the burnt pepperoni cups, and having it, I think, with hot honey. Lombardi's is not on Prince. Lombardi's is on Spring Street. They're the like original pizza. Um, they're at Spring and Mott. They used to be they used to be a little tiny hole in the wall. Then they expanded to the corner, and you have lines out the door. And Lombardi's, like John's of Bleecker, you cannot get slices. You have to get full pies. However, during the pandemic, Lombardi's was selling grandma slices, and it was like, I don't know, $8 or $9. And those are like Sicilian, but I think they have some sort of topping on it. So, but then I think they're no longer selling slices again. That was just when they were begging for people because they didn't have any tourists come. Well, during the pandemic, you didn't have to buy a whole pie. You could buy a slice of this grandma slice, but that was only because there was no tourists, and that was during the pandemic only for Lombardies. But normally, like now, you can't just get a plain slice, or even during the pandemic, it was a grandma slice. But yeah, they're not gonna. They're saying you got to get a whole pie, and I think John's always was a pie. Yeah, I don't know where reservation is. I think that might be lost to us all now as it's been debated so much. No, the original Ray's Pizza was at Prince Street Pizza. That's what it was. That was the original. If you Google it, you can find it. But they're long gone. There were so many copycats after. But pizza is pizza. I don't know. I think from what I hear, supposedly New Haven has the best pizza, but I've never been to New Haven for pizza. I probably drove by it a few times. Yeah, I know I drove by it a few times. Even took the train by it a few times. Of course, my sister was in Connecticut at one point, so it's gone. It's gone, as well as a lot of those pizza places that used to called Ray's are gone too. Other Ray's places, like original Ray's. Yeah, I had a great experience in New Haven. Great as in horrible. New Haven pizza looks burnt and too thin. If you think it's burnt and too thin, you're probably not gonna like Bleecker, because they burn there. It's thin and burnt. Crazy Eddie. To be honest, I don't even really remember Crazy Eddie. I just hear people talking about it. I know supposedly they had TV commercials where the prices are insane, but I don't really remember Crazy Eddie's. It's just I remember the Wiz. Nobody beats the Wiz. I remember where I used to work, J&R. I remember um, Radio Shack. I remember there was this local record chain, Disco Rama. There was also Sam Goody. I vaguely remember Sam Goody. I looked in Barnes and Noble a few months ago. They still had a few records, but I think they're getting rid of them. I don't think there'll be a record store there that much longer. There's still PC Richards. My fam never bought anything at Crazy A's. I think we bought our stereo from Newmark and Lewis. I don't remember Newmark and Lewis. I used to have an Iowa boombox, mini boombox. Wasn't that big. It was a small boombox. Iowa, AIWA. I'm gonna type it. They had really nice audio, but they no longer exist. I think that's how you spell it. They no longer exist. Also, like if you want to get like a Sony Discman, those portable disc players to hook up to one of these newer. They used to have the Sony Discman. It's like came after the Walkman. They don't make them anymore. It's all these like brands that like sound cheap as like Kobe. I think Kobe makes their own Discman. Yeah, well, Best Buy isn't doing too well either. They're closing stores. Yeah, I love the Iowa. Yeah, see, um, that's the other thing. All the idea of owning media in the US is like doesn't exist anymore. Everything is virtual on this cloud that doesn't exist. And you can't, and they have all these restrictions like you cannot do this and that with the media. You cannot, a lot of places won't allow you to burn it and into other media, just solely for digital consumption. So you're not owning the music or the video or whatever it is. You just don't own it. You're leasing it. The whole idea of ownership is going out the window. And well, you do save on plastic and waste and this and that, but I don't know. I like the idea of owning something. But then after having a fire, all your collections up in smoke too. But let's say all of a sudden you had this huge collection of media that you bought on I don't know, let's say Voodoo, because they sell TV shows, video, maybe music. I don't know. It used to be owned by Walmart, but I think they sold it to some other corporation. What if they go out of business tomorrow and you had your whole collection of videos or even Amazon? Let's say Amazon, they sell music, they sell videos. Let's say they were to close tomorrow. All of a sudden, some other company came out and they couldn't compete. The free returns they couldn't do anymore. Let's just say, and they went up in smoke. All your music and videos, they'll be gone. Go for now. I hope the Cowboys lose tonight. Being a Giants fan, okay, good luck to you. But yeah, I can't believe all this time Kobe's still around and Panasonic just operating behind the scenes, and Iowa gone. Iowa left years ago though. Even Sony is barely visible. Yeah, Sony is invisible now. They don't make a lot of stuff anymore. And Sharp, okay, yeah, South Park member Barry's routine where all to discover how old we are. Oh no, don't even mention that. Well, I generally just don't watch football, so but I can see a lot of people don't like the Cowboys, especially if you're East Coast based. Yep, enjoy. But a lot of music. I don't know if my whole collection of movies and CDs gone. That's why I don't really like to buy stuff on the cloud. I'll listen to it, but I'm not gonna buy and have it stored. Generally, I have a few things on the cloud. Generally, not that much, but I just don't trust corporations with keeping their promise of having the entire collection there for years. With Tuna and Vinny and the Jets for that year too. I remember years ago when we learned to play football. That was craziness. Everyone knew how to play football, and then I had to learn. And I think no, I think you were there. And the the gym teacher who's also a humanities teacher, I think, taught us football. And we had to learn on the pavement because we didn't have like a beach. We didn't have astroturf. We just had concrete. So they didn't want us to do tackle football for obvious reasons. Those were crazy times. But anyway, I thought I was only going to go for live for 30 minutes, and I nearly doubled the amount of time. I thought I was gonna finish the presentation and no one was gonna be there, because last live stream I did, I no one showed up because I mistakenly put I thought I put it as public, but it was on private. So I got on the presentation for like 20 minutes. No one showed up. I did the whole thing I had. No questions, no comments. So I ended it, and then I saw, oh, look, it was on private. Oops. Yeah, it was fun. It was only like there was this light game for phys ed, but the kids that like to play it played a much tougher competitive version outside of class. Yeah, I guess they did do tackle on pavement outside of class, but I wouldn't have no part of that. I didn't want to get all scraped up on concrete. That's, if we had an actual beach that had like nice soft sand, I think we could have played a real football game. As well, we'd also need the actual gear. The school we went was they didn't have the budget for that. But anyway, I think that's we pushed each other a lot harder. Okay, yeah, I guess so. Anyway, it's been almost an hour, so I think we did good. I think we did good. At least this time we're an actual live stream and not a recording stream. But if you are watching on the recording, that's good too. Glad to have you come join us. And let me know in the comments below, are you part of the YPP program? Are you not? Are you more inspired now to get there? Will this affect you if you're in a country that doesn't have the YPP program light version until now? I'm also interested in knowing how this plays a part in your YouTube endeavors. Anyway, if I don't hear from you in 2023, have a wonderful New Year's, and I'll see you next year, only hours away. Happy New Year, everyone. Goodbye. I'll see you next time.